Oh, girl. What's up, y'all? I'm so sorry, Key. I'm sorry, Key. I had to because I wanted my thumbnail. I'm sorry. I wanted my thumbnail, y'all. So I had to end that live. And girl, so I could get my thumbnail, girl. I like my thumbnail. So I just had to restart it. That's it. That's all. I'm sorry about the redirect. For real, for real. Dim and shopping cart, your yard toaster from clicking the links is there. I'm not. Oh man. No, toaster and dimples can be allowed to hit this link. They still there at the end of the day. Hey Diane, they still a there at the end of the day. Now. I'm sorry, hey, not you, but it was good. Hey, VA Sagittarius. Hey, Tina. How you? Hey, Miss Jean. Hey, Lex. My hand itching, baby. Oh, my hand be itching like crazy. And she did me that. Yeah. Do not do that. Now, I ain't think you was going to end your life, to be honest. Because I saw you line. I said, damn, Ken live, so let me wait a little bit. Because I'm like, I know he wanted to be here for this paying them 2 hours and trying to buy it. I was like, I gotta go because I'm already late. I already got critiqued last night by Lady Nikki and Shelly. So let me hurry up and get this crack a lacking. Hey Stacy. How? Yeah. Don't do that. Okay. They coming back. Just share me out. Hey Shelly. Just share me out. Okay, you already making my day go by smooth, kids, smooth. He want to do the nose, y'all. He want to do the nose. It's too early for this bullshit here, okay? Okay, let me pin the link, okay? Let me pin the link. Also, rules for the men, because I gotta have rules for the rules for the men, okay? Because hear each other out, okay? Hear each other out. Don't over talk each other, okay? I want y'all to be able to do it like I did had it before, even though, uh, it wasn't an all males panel, it was females and males, but really that day I mostly had like nothing but males that day on the panel, and y'all did wonderful. So can I get that? Can I get that again? Okay, hey, Shelly, good morning. Well, afternoon, afternoon. Ooh, shit, I'm telling her good morning, and I'm telling y'all not to tell that to me, girl. It's a slip of the tongue, girl. Please forgive me. It's a slip of the tongue. Good day, Shelly. Good day, the killer. Good day, Joy Queen. Good day, Soul Sister. Good day to all y'all intells. Hold on, that's what I was looking at. I'm going to pin the link. I want y'all to be able to hear each other. I want y'all to be able to talk about it, express your feelings. This is y'all time. Uh, Hold on. Let me make sure this in. Pimps.
Hey, Pizarro, what you got going on up here, man?
I'm having an all nails dinner.
Okay, salute. That's what I'm talking about. You trying to switch it up right now, man. Shout out to the spaceship, man. Hey, okay. I thought you had this last night. I was at work though, but I thought I saw it in the
No,
title.
no, no, no. You saw it in the title, but I didn't have it last night. I said, should we do it tonight or tomorrow? Even though a majority of them did pop up like an hour late after, but they was trying to do it. And I was like, no, let's just do it today instead of last night because I know a lot of people, I thought a lot of y'all wasn't up. So, yeah.
Okay. Ah, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's been a lot going on in y'all sector, the beef sector, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's cracking. So is it gonna be about the sector or is just talk in general?
It's gonna be about both.
All right.
But the center thing is gonna be last. That's gonna be last. We're gonna talk about real shit
All right.
with y'all.
Cool.
We trying to explore y'all mind on real shit and real topics. Noble,
What up, though, Pizarro? How you doing?
what's good? Noble, what's good with you? What's good, bro?
Peace, love,
Came
and
into
light.
it.
What's up here? I committed to coming up here, so I'm here, and I'm looking forward to the dialogue.
Oh, I most definitely is too. I gave some rules to suggest. Let me go see what you say. Hi, bro. What's good with you? Get the able see. Y'all said ZX will be the time. Like if ZX come, if he come, where is your coming in? I don't see it. I'm waiting for some more of the men. I'm waiting for some more of the men to come. We got Pills and we got Noble. Noble did say, oh, she said no trolling, no calling each other out their name, no personal attack.
Oh, you got rules over here. Okay, I'm liking this already. Go ahead now.
Yeah, I want y'all to be able to express yourselves, but I don't want y'all to attack each other. I want you to be able to hear each other. If I have to put y'all on the timer, I will. If you be disrespectful, if you cannot handle the conversation, I will drop you in the back so that you can gather yourself and get yourself together. I'm only giving you have to drop you the second time. You just don't have to be muted from the panel because I want it to be straightforward. I don't want y'all to be like arguing over each other, cussing each other out and shit like that. I want y'all to be able to hear each other, understand each other. And if you don't agree with that person says, yes, you can rebuttal what that person says, but do it in a respectful way.
Facts. Facts.
Can you know the topic now? The topic. It ain't just one, it's topic. So I mean, what you doing? What is you doing? The women, their rules gonna be a little different. Their rules gonna be different. You know, I gotta give them a whole bunch of rules. Cause they
Wait,
really gonna be active.
wait. Who rules gonna be different?
The women.
Oh, okay, okay. I know you be doing that favoritism stuff, Pizarro. Go ahead now. It's cool. I rock with you.
No, I'm not.
I listen. I
Their
rock
rules are
with
gonna
you.
be their rules gonna be a little stricter than y'all because they more hot headed.
Okay, I rock. Listen, trust me. Now, remember, I tried to be spaceship till you kicked me out. Now, come on. Now, let's get to going. I'm supposed to be praising Jesus right now. Come on now.
Yes, you supposed to be. You supposed to praise him every day, all day though.
Facts. Go ahead now. Look at you.
Okay, Ken say he coming. I'm waiting for some more now. I'm waiting. We 12 minutes in. So, but you know I did my intro, so I said we about at least 10 minutes in or less. So I'm waiting for the rest of them to come. Ghetto told me he was at the golf course. He doing his golfing, but he said it's just training. He'll be able to come through. I don't know when he gonna be able to come through, but I'm waiting on a few more to come on and hit this late. This why I started off late because I knew some of y'all was gonna be a little late. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now well, since we waiting, let us know what some of the topics gonna be about, man. Like what you got going on. Come on now.
Oh, I already told the topics, but you want me to tell them again? Oh, you weren't here last night. The
Nah.
topics is that I'm gonna have with y'all are the high value men versus women. I'm gonna have that conversation with y'all. I wanted y'all to let me know what y'all feel and think about the war going on. What are your thoughts on that? And him wanting to recruit a lot of American citizens to go out there and do this war. Okay. I wanted to also talk with you guys about EJ Johnson and the things that he said pertaining to him saying that he dates straight men. I know it's a few of y'all that's straight, and I want to know how y'all feel about it being classified as straight men dating other men when we know, that's not what we always thought that to be. So I wanted to get in y'all head about that. I wanted to get in y'all head about a lot of stuff like certain topics that I wanted to talk to you about before, but I don't think I was able to get to them topics. Like How do you feel? What's going on in your neighborhood? What more can y'all do as black men to make it better? Child support. How y'all
Mm,
feel about a woman being submissive to
let's get
y'all
it.
and y'all being submissive to a woman? Because I always hear about a woman being submissive to y'all, but what about y'all returning the same? You
Whoa,
know,
whoa, whoa.
those
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
topics.
yeah. I like that. I like that right there because I really wouldn't call it submission, but it is a form of submission. And that
Right.
would be, you know,
And how do y'all feel about people that's in the LGBTQI community, even in the straight community, be putting them kind of allegations on y'all due to certain things that be said when y'all around the environment? Whether it's B sector, whether it's in your real life, which I don't think in y'all real life y'all be having people calling y'all that, but definitely in the sector type thing. And then I'm gonna get into the B sector with y'all and how y'all feel about the B sector and all the sectors and all in all. You know, explore your brain a little bit.
okay, that sounds fair.
Hi, the
I'm here for it.
baby.
I'm here for it, man. Where
Yeah,
y'all at?
I'm
Okay,
Come
do
on,
I
brother.
have do I have it pinned? Let me know if I have the thing, the link pin.
the what?
The link. Let me know if the link is pinned. Ooh, down. Down, down, down. Do
Well,
it seem
as y'all
that
know, my name is Noble. I'm from the unconscious sector. You know what I'm saying? Just came up here to support my sister Pizarro with her show. It's a little change. I think it's a little different. I think it's something that's needed. Some real, content. Not saying that everything y'all do ain't content, but there's something different. It ain't no contest. It's like a real. I hope it will be like a real conversation. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to have a real conversation, not with the messiness. I want us to have some real conversation amongst men and give the people what they want.
and I'm here for that, Noble. I'm here for a real conversation as well. Bro, where's Malik? Cause your ass is here in the chat. Where he at? He been hounding me for weeks about this all man pill. Him in ghetto. Where the hell is Malik? Ken told me he coming up, so that's why I'm waiting. Cause when Ken come up, we'll just get right on. Come on, ghetto. There you go, ghetto. You ain't late. We waiting on y'all to come on and hit this link, and I was breaking down the rules for them, the ones that missed out on my rules. Nova already know, but Pills didn't. I was breaking down the rules for Pills, let him know what I wanted from y'all, what I don't want from y'all, and then what y'all topics gonna be that we gonna talk about today. What we gonna get into. Does the women get to explore y'all mind as men? you know. I am gonna be messing with y'all when I bring up, well, what kind of woman you looking for? What kind of woman you seek? You know, what makes a woman makes you want to fall in love with her and marry her? And why? Oh yeah, and let me not forget get into why not many black men are marrying they black women and stuff, or rather have them as baby mamas. You know.
Hey, this is good ass questions, man. We need the brothers up here, man, so we can get this shit started. Yeah, yeah. I like it already. I like it. I like it.
Hey,
But
Lady
yeah,
Nika.
I could really start touching on some of them subjects now, because we don't want to hold the people up. It's two men up here that can start the conversation. If you want to, that's up to you though. I'm trying to smoke too.
Peace. I'll be looking at some of them videos to be shared out, so I know she be yo man be everywhere. You be all up into the. I don't even want to say the word, but you be on the other side of the field when it come to what's going on in the world today. So Peace. You really an interesting person. I ain't gonna hold you. In a way, she
Well,
really is
I
interesting.
appreciate it. I do. I do. I'll be all over you. Now, I don't think y'all be noticing when I be sharing that type of stuff. My guy,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's up?
oh,
I'll be peeping the
there
situation.
go my baby. What that say? I'm not gay,
Oh
but
man, look at this.
$20 is $20.
Look at Malik. Look
Oh,
at Malik.
Natalie, Natalie, what the
Yeah,
hell did you do that?
What the?
let's let's let's
Okay,
go
my
ahead and
guy.
bring a little humor to this thing right here before we start talking about some serious stuff. And I figured I'll make a little funny.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, do y'all want to pick out of the topics that I just said? What was Malik is here, so we can go ahead and get started and wait for the other man to come. So the women in the chat, because I'm gonna have the men do y'all the same way. Since y'all want to pick a topic for them, I'm gonna have them pick a topic for y'all too. So out of the topics that I done listed up here, which topic in the chat from y'all want the men to discuss? Okay, they go get her. Malik, they say you gotta turn up your mic. You low.
I ain't even said nothing yet.
Oh, you sound good to me. But turn it up.
Peace and love to y'all
No
brothers,
women
man.
involved. No, no
Good
women
evening,
involved
everybody.
right
Can
now.
y'all hear me well? Can y'all
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
hear you, bro. Yes,
You
sir.
burped it. Let me fix that. Let me fix it. Okay, now say something.
Two, mic check.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, they want you to do the high value men versus the women. They want that topic. So y'all ready to get in that topic?
Go.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Now many of y'all know of
Is it?
Kevin Samuel. What is it, Noble? Noble.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You good? Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Many of y'all know of Kevin Samuels and how he feels that most women, mainly black, are not high value women because most of them are baby mamas, right? Even if they have went to school, even if they end up becoming nurses, doctor, lawyers, all that, they still would not be viewed as a high value woman because they have had a child out of wedlock. And for him, they cannot be viewed as being high value. Now, to me and many other people, being a high value person, whether you're a man or woman, is pretty much up to you and how you feel about your own life. Really, nobody can tell you what you're worth or what you're not worth, or how value you is to anybody or anyone in society. At the end of the day. But this has been a long out, drawn out conversation. I have seen it so many times over there in the manosphere. The diversity sector over there with the women. It has been a big conversation. And not always over here in the sector that I am in, which is these sectors, some of y'all from other sectors and stuff. And I know y'all have heard it as well because many of y'all have been over there too, the red pill versus the blue pill. Oh yeah, I want to talk to y'all about that too. I want to get into that with y'all about the red pill versus the blue pill boys and then the passport boys and stuff. I do want to talk to y'all about that as well. Um, so what do you men think when it comes down to a high value woman? How do you guys feel? Do y'all believe in the same belief system as Kevin, or do you guys have your own belief system when it comes down to what you view a high value woman is and a high value man is? I'm gonna say, Piers, you go first since you was here. I'm gonna put it in order.
Oh man, you done put me on the spot like that. Hold on now. Okay, now hold on now. Now, first of all, I'm ain't gonna hold you. I think you kind of really answered the question yourself as far as what a high value woman is. You said a woman, that had children, or a child with a man who didn't marry him but was only a baby mama. Well, me, I got my own perspective of what a high value woman is, because really is what you perceive it to be. And if you
Hmm.
indulge in the culture, in the black culture, you may think, if you look at some of these rappers and look at the women that they went, to Kim Kardashian, whatever, you would think that they really a high value woman. But I don't have that same perspective. Me coming from where I come from, I can look at somebody that my mother's been married, but at the same time, between me and my sisters and brothers, we also got another father, for that's all I'm gonna speak of. But my mother, she the same person who adopted some of my cousins when her own brother couldn't take care of his own family. You know what I'm saying? So she adopted a whole nother family. And I could never look in the eyes of another man and share his values and think that because of whatever he think, that that's not a high value woman. I would rather have a black woman that's loyal to me, than to have one that's known to dance in a rap video or whatever, whatnot, or just because she got a BBL and a certain body parts that was paid for, and think that that's a high value woman. I mean, it's just whatever you perceive it to be. Me in particular, I have my own values, and with what I've learned in life so far, I don't share what some of the people in the regular black culture share. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Who is over there? Noble.
Hello, hello. Can you hear
Don't
me?
be loud. Yeah. Hold on. Let
All
me
right,
do a
I'm
timer.
not gonna be long. Oh shit. No, but my thing is
Y'all look, I got to do a timer. Okay, go ahead.
when it, when it comes to that, is where you put your bar at. You know, high value, low
Hmm.
value would be like kind of like the brother Pill said, based upon your own perception. Me myself, I don't want a hood rat, but yet I don't want a brainiac either. I need some type of balance, when it comes to women, and if they're not, you know, up to my standard, then I could say, yeah, they have to reach a certain standard to be high value in my eyes. You should always try to raise your bar when it comes to your mate. You should always try to learn from your mistakes. If that's a low value woman, that's below your standards. But I think that me myself also think that um it's based upon what you want in a mate. Sometimes it don't matter if they high value or low value. Sometimes people send to settle for less. And I yield the floor.
All right, Malik. Good job, Noble. Malik.
So we talking about how do you see women or how do women see men when it comes to the high value?
Both. Both. You can do both.
Well, one's value is based on one's own personal perception of themselves and what they think that they're worth to whatever the situation may be coming down the line. So if a woman thinks that she's valuable to said male, then she has to present what her value is and see if that's valuable to him in my eyes and vice versa. But I guess amongst those two people who are trying to either build together or see if they have a connection to build together.
Okay. Okay. Now, ghetto. Hold on. Hold on. Let me.
Uh, I, I won't even need a
Okay, go
time. I'm not
ghetto.
gonna be that long. All
All
right.
right.
So first of all, we got. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh, so first we got to
Yes.
clean up what Kevin Sam. First, we got to clean up what Kevin Samuel's concept was. His concept wasn't about high value women. It's about that there's only about 20 to 30% of the men who could be quote unquote considered high value. So you got all these women flooding themselves on Instagram and other things like that. and they're saying, you know, you're using your sex. How long do you think your sex will get you the man that you're looking for? You know, if you're having kids early, messing around, you know, got a high body count. So that's what the high value man to woman conversation was. As far as what one is looking for, you know, each everybody's situation is different. You know, if you're looking for submission, if you're looking for a business partner, it depends what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you got a relationship that can stand the test of time, and that's really based on love and trust is what's most important. And that's all I really got. But with Kevin Samuels, it was less about um, it was less about whether the women was high value, but whether the women were chasing men that they felt was high value in a certain tax bracket, and whether they really competed in that bracket or
Okay. Now, since you all answered that, we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Can I, can I,
Now, how
can
do
I,
you
say-
miss?
I just wanted to
Well,
add to, I ain't gonna take
my
long.
son, go ahead.
There was also like this female. Her name
Hey,
is
Andrew.
Love. They call her Love Dorsey. Are y'all up on her? She's kind of like a female Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? But she's Love Dorsey. She make a lot of sense, just like Kevin Samuels. I think that we have to get out of this destructive culture, you know what I'm saying, and set some type of standards for ourselves. We just can't settle for anything. We got to stop the abuse of our women and our men, and we also got to change the family dynamic and make husbands and wives instead of, you know, sex and a good time.
Well, speaking of that, I want to know, um, when it comes down to, because I want to get into the war thing, but I'm gonna bring that up a little later, because I do want to get into the baby mama, baby daddy culture, because we do see a lot of that going on, and we see that it's praised, and it's not praised of being a family. It's more so being praised of them being baby daddies and them being baby mamas. And I do want to get y'all perspective on how do y'all feel about this new baby mama culture and baby daddy culture that's been spread wide, where a lot of black men do not want to marry these women that they're laying down having kids with. Pills.
Wait. I know you ain't just call on me again first, Miss Pizarro. What did you?
Yes, because I'm going
Oh,
in order. Dang.
oh,
You
Lord
was
have mercy.
good.
Oh, okay, wait,
You
okay,
was
because you.
good. Do you want me to let Malik go first? I can let Malik go first from now on. Or no, but
Okay,
who
now
you want to go
hold
first?
on. Well, let me answer. Let me, because this hit home right here. Okay, it hit home. So let me go on and answer this.
Okay.
Why do some of us impregnate women and such, and we don't marry them? We just keep them as baby mothers. Well, first of all, you know, we may not do it as much today because the times is different than what it was in the past. The dollar's not the same. The family is not that we don't stick together as much as we used to. And what everything that's going on, even the dating scene is not the same. You don't even go out your house to even hook up with somebody now. Like, it's crazy. A lot of the times that when we get together and we make these babies, we may be as one at the time, but a lot of time ruins a lot of things. During time, certain things happen, and maybe we would have married the person then at the time, but speeding up things, it's like it maybe just wasn't meant to be. It could have been meant to be at that time, but not meant to be 5 years after. I believe that a lot of these women, with the culture that we in today, some of these women don't even know how to cook. First of all, they not the grandmamas and the mamas back in the day. It's a whole nother culture now, and they want to be self-empowered, and I support it. But when it comes to raising a family together, it comes to a point where some of the stuff that I don't necessarily support, and I feel like that it'll be the best decision for us to just co-parent, because emotionally, for certain things not to happen, because we know the type of person that we are. We just have to, you know, I'm over here, you over there, but we have this thing in common that's our child that we know 100% that we down for, and that's all that we need. You know, we not necessarily need to get married and, you know, be together forever for a bunch of different reasons. But you know, the black family, if you look up to back in the 50s and 60s, it's a lot different. People own more property. People, black people had more businesses. Um, Black people, us as a whole, we were more, I believe, as a family than maybe we are today in this generation. And I could be wrong at the same time. But
Yes, you
um,
are. Yes, you are. You are definitely
okay,
wrong on that. But I'm gonna have
okay,
a woman come up because
okay.
I do want a woman to jump into this conversation. Um, when it came down to
All
high
right.
value men and women. Yeah, remember I told you I was gonna tag a woman to come up because I'm gonna
Oh,
do the same thing 6:30 when it comes to them. I'm gonna tag a man to come up to rebuttal what they say. Now,
Okay.
oh,
Pills, go ahead and finish what you were saying so Noble could go.
Um, damn. You know what? I kind of. You know what? I'm gonna let Noble take it over right now. Go ahead, big dog.
all right, all right, all right.
And nice
I think
sound too,
I,
Pills. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Noble.
yeah, I think that it's more or less. I mean, the culture isn't like courting anymore. We're not into like courting. Learning the person, it's like quick, instant gratification. Y'all bang a couple times. Next thing you know, you in love. Then y'all have a love child, and then you out that honeymoon phase, and bam, we got a child here. I think that tends to happen. Now, as far as why men today are not marrying women, because they don't see them as wives. Wife material. Just like Pills was saying, a lot of these women they can't cook. You know what I'm saying? And half the time, a lot of I'm talking about these new school women. I'm not talking about the 30 somethings, but a lot of 30 somethings. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to cook. But I think it's because we have no values in courting no more. Like when I was coming to age, you know what I'm saying? I actually was just coming out that phase of actually courting, meeting the parents, having a real relationship with that person, getting to know that person before you even begin to, have sex. You know what I'm saying? And I've also been married, you know what I'm saying? And we had two beautiful children, and that was our main reason for getting married, was because of the children. And that's another mistake that we make in some marriages, not successful either. We marry for the wrong reasons, just like we have children for the wrong reasons. A lot of children are not planned. They're just made out of lust and infatuation. And I yield the floor right there.
Hey,
Okay, come
Pete,
on, my
can
guy.
you repeat your question? Because if your question was what I think it was, we're not even on focus right now. So repeat your whole question.
My question was, why do we have the baby? Why is it glorified with the baby mamas and baby daddies? And why doesn't black men want to marry the women they lay down and have kids with? Why would they prefer to have them as baby mamas? And to be honest, they just not probably answering the way that maybe the audience like it.
Mm-mm. No, they're not. No, they're not.
But they're
No.
First of
now,
all,
Ken, don't do that.
I
Don't do
had to get off the
that, Ken.
phone.
Can't help. Hey, yo,
Ken,
I'm go ahead, go ahead,
Ken.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No,
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 I'm just
no,
saying.
Malik, it's your turn. Hold on. No, Ken, control yourself. Now go ahead, Malik. That was my question. Now, Nova did answer my question because Nova has been married and Nova has been divorced and Nova has had kids. Nova explained why it's like that because he said that women are not viewed in these days as married material. That is what Nova said. He answered it, but Pills kind of didn't. Pills went. I think he may have misheard my question, but Pills explained it the best way he could. Now it's Malik time, Ghetto time, and then Ken, it would be your turn. Go ahead, my guy.
So I agree with Noble to a point, But nowadays, and I'm assuming that you're talking this generation of, I'll just say 25 to 30. I don't necessarily know. But
I'll
they
say the
hooking up.
culture period. I say the culture in general right now.
Okay,
Facts. That's what I
the
said too. But go ahead.
okay. So the culture in general right now, there is no such thing as dating. Everything is a pick, a like, and a move. It's no such thing as dating. Like you can get on an app and you can stand in front of a condo in a Benz and the chick like your picture and she stand in front of a Benz in the car and it's no more real interaction. So everything now is done through the internet. So you got a lot of catfishing, a lot of false representation. So by the time you even catch a person, if y'all do wind up doing the 1-2, that's all you gonna get because you never got to know who each other was in the beginning. And now you're playing the game of trying to be together for the sake of the child, which never works. It's not gonna work like that. And then secondly, morals and standards are totally different now. Like you hear a lot of little young girls now say, I'm a beast in them. Oh boy, I buy back in my day, if a chick did the situation on you, she was gonna tell you if you told somebody, my brother and them was gonna beat you up. So like now the whole generation, or as Noble said, the culture, the morals and principles are so far backwards that once a person scores, it's a scorecard. Like Tasha want to take down Mike because he community. Mike want to take down Tasha. It's a scorecard. It's no longer people are trying to engage for building a future. It's hey yo, this on my belt. Oh, that's on my belt.
Okay, go ahead, Ghetto.
I think it comes back to the dysfunction of our communities. Unfortunately, sex, drugs, and alcohol sells. That's what we push in almost 100% of our culture. So our kids follow it. It's not even like it's like they lay down and then in 4 months they realize, holy shit, I'm pregnant. They haven't even had no plans. They're just recklessly having sex, and without the education and what to do and where to go, we fall into these pitfalls of the community, and it takes away from our vision of having generational wealth because we have babies having babies in poverty, and we just keep compounding poverty on top of poverty, and it leads to the situations we get.
Okay, go ahead, King. Now it's your turn, King.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna leave. So we blaming everything else. We blamed the poverty. We blamed all of that stuff, but we never really blamed us, the men.
I was
It's
glad
our
to get
fault.
to that point.
Sometimes it's our fault. Sometimes
Don't forget.
we put women through a whole lot. We dog these women out. We fuck with their self esteem. We do a lot to these females. We fuck them up. So we can't really blame everything on the poverty and all the rest of that stuff, and not throw we're the reason why some of these women are fucked up. It's the men. It's how we treat them. It's how we present them. It's how we sometimes we treat women like whores. Let's be real. They're just a quick fuck. We don't take women serious. This day and age, we don't take females serious if you're not already married.
Right.
I'm just being real. So I just wanted to say that right quick, and then I'm about to go because somebody called this person getting on my nerves. They calling me, but I'm listening
Okay.
though. What's up, Pills? What's good? Who
Hey,
else on here?
you made
What's
you
going
made a
on,
good
big
ass point
dog?
though. Too. You made a
Noble
good.
and my guy. Thank you, Noble. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm listening though, bro.
Yeah, and I
Good
just
show,
All
wanted to
right,
people.
add
thank
on
you,
to
King.
that kid 100% correct. But I also got to add to this too that you didn't have some good men out here that was hurt and fucked up from women that was hurt and fucked up by men.
Fact.
I think a lot of time going into new relationships and new marriages and things like that, we don't give ourselves time to heal. You know what I'm saying? We
Fact.
jump right back into another relationship or another marriage thinking that's gonna hurt, or rather that's gonna heal the problem or heal the pain. You really have to. you know, do some self-love, some self-care, some self-evaluation, and return to self, and find somebody else that's healed. Just don't, because you healed, you go into find another toxic person and they ruin your journey. You know what I'm saying? But he hit it on the nail on the head. It is our fault, and it is some of our fault, and we need to hold ourselves accountable and do better.
Facts. And I want to say this too,
So
because shout out to the Queen Lady Niggas. She said I didn't answer, but I think that we all had the same answer. We said that the culture is not the same. We just said it in our own way. And when I said that like these women today can't cook like grandma and them, and this we, you know, you can meet somebody on the internet and on the app and not even go outside at the corner store or Walmart or at the church or whatever and meet them. You just meet them at your bed on the app on the phone, and it's different. Like culture is different today. It's totally different. So, and it has a lot to do with it. But it's shout out to Kenola though, because I also want to say that he was talking some good game. You know, he came in and dropped a good one liner, and you know he left. So I'm gonna have to take off some points for that, because he just left off the scene. I don't know. It was sounding good though. Shout out to my boy.
so let me say this. So Noble, I think you kind of piggyback and agree with Ken, and I think Pills, you kind of agreeing with Ken. So let's be clear, Noble and Pills and Ken. How many women mess themselves up though? Like if you meet Pizza, and Pizza, I'm just using you as a reference point, and you tell Pizza what it is, but Pizza is expecting something else, whose fault is that? How can you?
That's like ideal. Is try to kill it.
What the hell is that noise?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to get you to be more direct in your question.
I think that might be Ghetto. Is that you that got that in the back?
But I think I did touch on that. I think I did kind of like talk about how some men get into relationships with damaged women. You know what I'm saying? That's been damaged by damaged men. That's been damaged by damaged women. We don't take time out to heal. We just damaged goods, hooking up with more damaged goods, and we ain't nothing but trash. We're a junkyard full of shit.
But
You know,
Noble,
we gotta clean up.
you may not. But Noble, you may necessarily not be damaged. If the other person is damaged, and that's why I reference Pizza, because she kind of get this. Give me if she get what I'm saying. If you meet a woman and the woman is already damaged, right? But you keep it 100 with the woman, but the woman sees more in the situation. How are you at fault for that? You clearly established.
You just don't go no further than that disagreement. You find, just like we was talking about earlier, is you gonna drop the bar, you gonna keep your bar high. If you choose to deal with damaged goods, you get what you get. And you know that's toxic. You know them toxic. You know that's toxic behavior. You know that type of person was like my ex, or like one of the person that didn't work. Why are you gonna go back to that? No matter how good they look, no matter how much money they got, no matter how fat the ass is, you gotta make a choice. Is you gonna lower your standards, or you gonna keep your standards high?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is.
Okay, he back. Go ahead, Malik.
What I'm saying, Noble, is if you approach a woman and you keep it 100 with the woman, but the woman is seeking more than what you're telling them they're going to do, and they damaging themselves. They can't have more expectation from you than you've already said that you're going to do.
But why you go? But then you lying to the woman. You setting her expectations high. You not keeping it real with them. And that's why I was saying, if you tell them what your expectations is, right? Or y'all dating, that's why I'm saying dating and getting to know each other is very important. You know what I'm saying? 30 days, you should know whether you want to have a relationship with this person or not. Period. So getting to know what a person is about, and you know, like I said, you know they ain't at your level. Why even be bothered with them? Why even?
Oh my God!
You know, that's all I'm saying.
Noble, You missing
I think
what
I
I'm
might be.
saying.
Yeah, I might be
And what I'm
getting you wrong.
saying is this. I'm saying I meet Pizza. Me and Pizza cool. I tell Pizza what it is. Shorty, we can go on a couple dates. We can take a trip. Don't look for me to be here for a relationship. We just gonna have fun, right? But Pizza is
Hmm.
out here telling the Miss Old Lady Nika, oh, I think I found my husband. He's the one. I've already told you my expectation. But now Pizza
Right,
has
right.
set her
Okay, okay. I
bar
hear you.
higher than what I told her. So now she's damaging
Yeah,
herself.
yeah. You right. You
So
right.
then,
I hear you now. I hear
so
you.
that's what I'm saying. You got to take in
Okay.
accountability that some dudes may put all the cards on the table, but the woman wants to move the bar. The woman is saying, "Well, no, you my person, and they're trying to force a situation.
Okay. So this lady cussing me out. Okay, so let me say this. I understand what both of y'all saying. I understand where y'all coming from. But if I was to get somebody that's damaged goods, it's my job as the man to help her build herself back up. I don't mind doing that. I mean, it's not wrong with you helping a woman rebuild herself because another man tore her down. So I mean, it's gonna be a challenge for you, and also it's gonna work in both of y'all favor. So you can't really make yourself act like you better than that woman. I mean,
Wait,
there's nothing wrong with you helping her rebuild herself.
wait, but I think that Malik was saying that Malik said that if you telling her what it is, like you ain't even on that type of time and like even helping her, you just trying to smash and be friends with benefits.
But that's
That's
something
what I
different
got.
though.
Okay, yeah. That's what I had got from Malik though. Is that what you were saying, Malik?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When a man puts the cards on the table of how the relationship can go, but the woman sets an expectation that's beyond what he said. So now you faulting the woman is going. You can't take fault for her moving the goalpost when you took and you told her what it was. So now she's damaging herself. And again, Ken, I agree with you to a point, but let's be clear, yo. At the end of the day, you can't build somebody else's self esteem, yo. That's why it's called self esteem.
You actually can.
Yeah,
You actually can.
yeah, you can. I believe you can too. I ain't gonna
Okay,
hold
so
you.
so now how? Now I'm not saying you can't help, but it's self esteem. It's the
Fact,
esteem of yourself.
fact. But I believe that it's kind of like uh even though it's a self-esteem of yourself, it's a certain percentage that you getting from yourself, but it's also a certain percentage that you're trying to look from outside people. It don't matter if it's your parents, if you living that life and it's your OGs on the block, if you look up to certain it could be your uncles that's playing basketball or whatever. That's what it is, and you got to understand that. When you it take you to hit a certain age before you to like I'ma say master your own domain, become a grown up and be able to realize that you have more control over self than you thought. Because when you young, you are easily influenced. And you are easily influenced because you looking up to certain people. So it's not necessarily all about self at one point. You looking up because you want to become what you see. Monkey see what monkey do. You know what I'm saying? And you right, but also at a certain time you hit a point in life until you hit that stage where you realize it's self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Until then, it's only a certain percentage from self, and then you looking at validation from outsiders that you looking up to.
Now,
Yeah.
now let me use
I think.
somebody as an example. Now watch this. Just watch. I'm gonna use my daughter as an example. Now, she's young. She don't know no better. Uh, I do her the same stuff that I do my wife. Anytime I buy my wife flowers, I buy her flowers. Anytime I get my wife a gift, I get her a gift. Anytime we wake up, I tell her that she's beautiful. Oh, you look cute. Y'all be hearing me when I'm live. Oh, you look cute. Oh, I like the outfit you got on. Yeah, you look gorgeous. I always, stay saying stuff that females want to hear, that you're gorgeous, that you're beautiful. Or, well, I'm just getting you flowers just because it's Tuesday.
Like women like little bitty stuff. They don't. Some women don't like all that high value shit. Some women like
Right.
if you just get them a card, just because you wanted to get them a card, they treasure shit like that. They love stuff like that. So me built, talking to my daughter like that, I'm letting her know you don't really need no man to tell you anything. You don't need no man to show you anything. Your daddy been letting you know that you're a beautiful young lady. That a man should get you flowers just because it's Tuesday. That you don't need him to get you no gifts. You can do it yourself.
Mhm.
So that shit like that women treasure shit like that. You can help a woman rebuild herself. You can by letting her know that giving her compliments, getting her gifts, letting her know, well, if you've been through this in a relationship, well, I'm not like that man, and you trying to prove to her that you're not like her ex, shit like that. But
Okay,
I
so
mean, hey,
I totally agree with you in that aspect of you can help her get back on focus. Pardon me for one second. That she can get back on focus mentally and get herself back together. So I do agree with you on that.
look at Duchess.
I think he can I think he can motivate
Music.
your your spouse or your significant other. I think he can motivate them, but I agree with Pills when he say you can't, give them self esteem. You can motivate them towards self esteem. You know what I'm saying? Just like what Ken was talking about, what he do for his daughter. You know what I'm saying? He give her the confidence. She built her own self esteem. You know what I'm saying? Because she
Right.
know what to accept for
Oh, this
herself.
lady
She
keep
know she
calling
got
me.
she got
Hold
she
on,
got
hold
an
on. Let me curse.
example. She have an example of what a man is and what her expectations is. So you motivating her to build that own self worth within herself or within your own child's self or within your mate's self. Make them self aware that they're beautiful. Let them to know that make them self aware that they're smart, they're intelligent, they can do it. Like motivating them, but they build their own self esteem and self worth. But motivation
Yeah.
helps.
How come I don't hear nobody saying nothing? What's going on now? What y'all
I
got
was
going
waiting on
on
the
now?
next, I was waiting on the next question, Pills. But yeah, man, that's I mean, that really ties into the whole question. Like, it really ties into the first question we was having. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it like come full circle when it comes to, our children now. And also the culture and what we teaching them and with their examples and things like that.
I'm
Just
sorry,
like
I had to go on mute.
you find, just
My
like I was
bad.
reading in the chat, just like I was reading the chat somewhere, somebody was speaking about a lot of us having been born into two parent homes. You know what I'm saying? Some of us just been raised by mama or just been raised by grandma. We haven't had like that example of what a family is, how a man should treat a woman or a woman should treat a man, and things of that nature. And like I say, sometimes most of the time, we deal with toxic people, toxic problems, and we lower our expectations and our standards just to be with somebody, for money, for kids, for all the wrong reasons except for yourself.
Okay, so let's go ahead on and segue to the next topic. Now, I do want to know how do y'all feel, or if y'all even saw it, where EJ Johnson, which is Magic Johnson's son, said that he dates straight men. And so far, I only have nothing but straight men on the panel. I don't have a gay man, but it would be nice for a gay man to hit the link in this conversation. But how do you straight men on the panel feel about EJ saying that he dates straight men only because he's in competition with real women, the women that y'all have babies with? How do you men on the panel feel about that?
First of all, hold on now. We gonna have to cut the cap. We gonna have to cut the cap. We on the spaceships right now, so we ain't finna do that right now. Miss Pizarro. Even though I love Miss Pizarro, shout out to Pizarro, but we ain't finna do that right now. So EJ, because I didn't know what you was talking about at first, but you just explained it. First of all, we want to put this on the record when you said that EJ said that he only dates straight men. No, first of all, false, false. Those are down low men. That's
Right.
false. That's false.
Ain't nothing
Can
straight about
Ain't nothing
it.
straight. Fair. Yeah, let's get it right. Let's set the record. The only thing we finna do, the only thing straight finna be the record today.
Get
We
up.
gonna set the record. Those are some down low men. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to set the record straight on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you.
yeah.
Now, what do you think, Noble and Malik? What do y'all think about it? What do y'all think about him saying that he only dates straight men and these men only deal with women and that he looks better than women and that he's in competition with the women? What do
I mean,
y'all think about it?
there is
Go ahead,
nowhere in
Noble.
hell. There is nowhere in hell that the guys that he is dating is straight. He could say what he want to say. I think that's cap. The men are down low, and he just trying to, get some points of how much of a bad bitch he is.
Facts.
That's how I look at it. No disrespect to the community, but I mean that's what's wrong with us as men right now. We gotta hold that type shit accountable instead of saying, "Oh, that's cool." No, that's bullshit. He capping. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't put straight men in that type of a bracket or box. If they down low, they down low. If they fucking with a gay man, they down low. Ain't no straight there. And I can't even
So
really
let
go ahead. I have to. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta
I'm gonna
say.
say this.
It's me.
Well,
It's me.
Hold on. All
first,
right, hold on. Go ahead, Zach. I mean, Malik. Malik, turn up your sound too. You're a little low.
no, I'm loud. I'm loud, but I don't. I mean, first of all, straight men don't date. Uh, like wouldn't date EJ, whatever, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. But let's look at the real big picture though. It's Magic Johnson's son. So Shorty can say pretty much what he want, like Ken say, who gonna do him something? It's Magic Johnson's son. And
Hold
no
on,
shade
Malik.
at Magic.
Perfection
Yeah.
and yeah.
It's
Yeah.
me. It's me. It's me.
Okay, go ahead, Malik.
No shade at Magic or no disrespect. Magic beat a whole disease. So I mean, say whatever he want because he Magic's son and Magic then prove that he beat a whole disease. Like certain things you just don't entertain. I never even entertained it when Magic was like, my son is gonna be this, and I was like, okay, cool, Magic. I ain't had no comment. They doing what they doing, but he should not run around here saying that he's dating straight men and that these men are 100% straight. I don't think you should be doing that one. But I mean, hey,
You mind if I chime in right quick? Um, all right, because I feel like it's multiple parts to this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Multiple parts to it. Cause the whole straight men thing. Now, I got gay men in my family. You know what I'm saying? You have conversations with them and stuff. And I used to also, be in the photography industry, fashion and beauty and stuff. And you come across a lot of gay men in that industry as well. And for the most part, I have a conversation with anybody, you know what I'm saying? And so when they talk about they like straight men, that usually means either one or two things. Number one, they like a gay man who looks like a straight man, you know what I'm saying? Who don't present like you would probably expect for a gay man to, present. You know what I'm saying? He still looked the part, but he's really,
Hold on, hold
oh, okay.
on. Classic lights.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go on mute. Go ahead, profession.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, like, usually when they say that, what they mean is they want a man who looks the part, but is really, either, gay or bisexual, whatever, whatever. And then the other thing they usually mean by that is a man who really is straight, but they're gonna convert him over to, you know what I'm saying, to their lifestyle and whatnot. So that's usually what that shit means. Cause technically, I mean, if a dude is dealing with him, I mean that's not straight. But what goes on a lot of times too, because they do this thing where like you got down low dudes, who get down like that and stuff. And they'll tell them dudes somehow that, hey, if you fool with me or whatever, you can still be straight. That don't make you gay. It's just one time, or some old crazy ass stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And dudes fall for it because they don't want it. They're in denial about their sexuality and what they're doing. So it's really a play on that sometimes. But as far as him saying he's in competition with women and stuff, I gotta be honest, and it's probably gonna offend some people and whatnot, but I really do feel like well, ain't no competition really, but for the most part, I do feel like for the longest time, a lot of women actually supported this stuff. Now I'm not saying that women are supposed to hate the gay men. I'm not saying that, but I do feel like a lot of women have supported them in their thinking on many things to the point now it's gotten to where they see that the whole time a lot of these gay men wasn't really their friends. They were just they saw them as competition or as trying to replace them and stuff. So I feel like a lot of women now see that. Well, hopefully they do. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it.
All right, what's up, gentlemen?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's
What's
your
good?
turn, yet. It's your turn.
All
We're
right,
gonna go in order. And before
all
we do
right.
that, let me break down the rules. Okay. No arguing, no shading each other, no disrespecting each other. You can rebuttal each other. You can conversate with each other, even if y'all disagree, because they did this already when Ken came up here and told them about the men being a problem in the community and they're not holding themselves accountable. We need to hold y'all. Well, he said that the men need to hold themselves accountable because this is what y'all do. Respectfully, the men responded back to him, but they responded back to him respectfully. I don't want y'all to disrespect each other, over talk each other. If I have to put you on the timer, I will. If you be rude and disrespectful, I will drop you in the back and let you cool off. I will bring you back up. But the second time you do it, I'm just gonna kick you off the panel if you cannot handle yourself as a grown ass man. Okay, those are the rules. Go ahead, ZX.
All right. Again, peace, brothers. When it comes down to this, can a straight man date a gay dude or vice versa or whatever? By definition, any straight man or woman who gets turned on or can be turned on by the same sex, by definition, is gay. There's no such thing. If you are interacting with a gay man sexually and you call yourself a straight man, you're not straight, you're gay. That should be very, very clear by definition. Now, I like to talk about what the brother was just talking about. I'm not too familiar with him, but you know, recently it was said by another gay guy from the Umar Johnson sector, and I'm gonna put a name on it because it's content. Um, Brother was gay, and he was saying Stefan was saying that he dated a guy that was straight, and basically lied. Now this dude might have been trying to be supportive, cool, not accepting of that lifestyle, but tried to befriend or be cool with them. Look, I'm a supporter. You do your thing, I do my thing, but we cool. But I ain't into that. But I'm a supporter. I'm not gonna judge you. But then you had a gay dude put it out there on, because they angry. They'll say, "Oh, we went to dinner." Well, we was just hanging out, dog. What are you talking about? We went out to just get to eat. Like one of the homies. Nah, we was dating. You dig? So you can't even be close with them sometimes as a straight dude because you open yourself up to that type of thing where they just say something that ain't true, which would, kind of make you look bad, knowing you ain't interact with them on that level. So that's one reason why it's just like, it's a barrier there, as far as like, I'm not hanging out with you. I can't be cool with you. I might be able to speak to you. Hey, what's going on? But it's never going to be anything, where it's just me and you. I don't want to have no phone calls with you. I don't want to do none of that because that opens that door for them to throw it back at you or have other people look at you in that way. Now, I'm going to say this too. Dudes that are hard body in jail, when they in jail and they taking it from another dude, you gay. You gay. If you, I don't care if you could be the coolest dude on the street, tough guy, but then you go to prison and now you knocking off something that look like a woman, act like a woman. You gay to me. It ain't no separating it or no justification, because dudes in jail will say, "Oh no, that was just because I was down. I did what I had to do." And I think the brother is right too. I think women open the door by being too, kind with these gay dudes, like straight men supposed to accept it. I see the clock. I'm with
Can I
you.
chime in one more time? Because that was something I forgot to say last time I was speaking. Though, did you say that what's his name? EJ also said something like men who date only women are weak? Was that said?
I don't know. I didn't hear that part. Is that what you said, Zx?
No, I think like when you explained what was going on, like the comments we were supposed to be responding to, I think that's what you said was said.
Yeah, I would wanted y'all to respond to EJ Johnson. Hold on, Goosey.
Hello.
Okay, because I'm gonna have to let Classy okay, he dropped. EJ Johnson said that he only dates straight men. He don't date gay men. And the men that he talks to, they all deal with women. It's what he said. He's not in competition with no men, but he's in competition with women because that is who he goes after. Those are the men that goes after him. Straight men. It's what he said.
Okay, because I
So I
think
want to
okay.
know from the men, how do they feel about it?
Okay, let me just respond to that one point though, because I think you did say that he made the statement that men who deal only with women are weak. And I'm gonna just say this. In our society currently, like that's this whole gaslighting tactic that goes on, where like whenever somebody wants to try to convince you to do something that they know you probably wouldn't do, they try to shame you into doing it. So you're either weak or they start throwing loaded terms at you or whatever. And this is not just a gay and straight thing. This is all across the board with a lot in our society. People just again they throw names at you, they call you names, whatever. They try and attack your character, just to get you to do something they want you to do, but that you don't want to do. So that's all that is.
So hold on
I
one
agree.
second.
Okay.
Pizza, this your platform, but I gotta say this. Goosey, I know that you and my man ZX don't always see eye to eye, but please don't do it right now. Please don't do it right now.
I just want to say one thing though, Malik. Salute, by the way.
No, Goosey, come on, listen.
No,
Goosey,
listen.
Listen, Goosey, listen.
No, let him go. Let him go.
No. See,
I don't even know how to do that.
That's all. That's what I'm asking. I know how y'all like to troll. I know how y'all bang, but right now, please don't do that right now. That's all I'm asking is y'all don't do it right now.
That's a hard ask, but I wasn't going to do it. But I just wanted to say, like, I need 30 seconds, right? I feel like any straight man that loves to talk about men getting railed in jail and always likes talking about conversations dealing with people's sexuality, it's pretty weird. Like, every single conversation, if you don't like gay men, why always talk about gay men? I just think that's interesting and weird, and straight men don't do that. Straight men aren't going to think about...
Put the clock up. Put the clock up.
No.
Put the clock up, people. Be fair.
Gay, straight male, straight
wanted
men.
to know from the male. I want to know from the straight men because their name was brought up in the conversation of being said that they date men like EJ. Why can't they speak on it? Gay men speak on straight men all the time. Why can't they speak on gay men?
Listen, pizza. I'm just saying. I don't know about the whole EJ thing. I don't know. But I just think it's weird that every single time there's a conversation about gay men, one man in particular with the AI picture
Nah, it's
that
just
looks
about
like
one.
he goes in that direction, always
Let
wants to
me
run
let
on
him
No,
the
talk.
panel and
no,
talk
we're
about
not.
gay men.
No, we're
I
not
just think
about
that's
to do
weird.
this.
I'm
We're
gone. I'm
not.
gone.
We're
I'm
not
gone.
about to
I'm
do
gone.
this.
But I'm
No,
just
you're not
saying,
about to do this.
it's weird.
Bye. Bye, Goosey. Bye.
A straight man
Bye.
that don't
We're
like
not
gay
about to do
people
this.
ain't gonna do this every single time. Bye.
Can I respond lightly? Let me just respond. And I'm gonna throw this out there to the rest of the fellows because this is a men's panel. I'm taking it, so I don't take offense to what he said, but I will say this: another thing that straight men don't tolerate and find repulsive are men that sound like women. So we get offended when we hear a man that sounds like a woman or a man that appears to
Okay.
want to emulate a woman. I don't hang with them type of dudes. I don't know nothing about that.
Let's just move
So,
on because he came up to distract
well,
y'all from the
no,
conversation at
I get
hand.
it, but
Let's
it's a
move
question.
on.
It's a question.
Back,
It's a question
back.
for the other
And you
men.
cannot, no, Goofy, no, I'm not doing this. No, you fucking up my live. We was doing everything good, and here you go trying to fuck up my live, Goofy. I'm not doing this with you. We're not about to have this back and forth with you, nor ZX. We're going to talk about the topics that I want to fucking talk about, not the shit that you want to talk about. I'm tired of that. Like, no, if I ask them something pertaining to what is going on, they can talk about it. Why the fuck is they exempt? You not behaving because you trying to kick shit up. And I'm not here for that. You could kick it up after we done.
Can I just say one thing?
Oh my God.
Straight men don't
Is
kick
it
their
about
legs
a
up in the
topic?
air.
Hey,
Straight men
pizza.
don't kick their
I'm gonna
legs up in.
catch y'all next
Bye,
time, pizza.
bye. You just had to come up here and try to ruin my shit, bro. That's some crazy shit. Moving right along because I don't have time for that. Anyways, moving on because he's fucking up the commentary. I want to know from y'all how y'all felt of him. EJ said that he are dating a straight man when we know that that's not how that goes. And I'm glad that
You
no, but let it be known, and the rest of y'all let it be known that he's not dating a straight man, he's dating a down low nigga.
Right, right. I
and
think
you
that
doing a
would be.
good job, Pizza. I appreciate your platform today. You're doing a great job.
Thank you too, Pizza. I think that's. I think it's a fallacy because if you're attracted to another man and it gets you sexually aroused, by definition, you're gay. Um, I listened to just to be talking about this subject, and I talked about it earlier actually with somebody. Um, and she and I were talking, and when like the transsexuals that dress like women may have you know, altered their bodies to look like women, but in reality, they're just the image of a woman, but not truly a woman. If you say something like that as a straight man, and the brothers, y'all can be real about it, even if we say something like that, like, dog, you're not a woman. Well, you being offensive to the trans community. I'm not being offensive. I just don't see you as what you want to be, and people will attack you because you're not accepting a man in a dress altering himself to look like a woman. They'll attack you and say, well, you're just homophobic. It's not homophobia to me. It's just I don't see that as being a woman.
Me myself, you know what I'm saying? I don't. I mean, they don't. That them people don't scare me because they human like me. The only time that it bothers me is when they push their sexuality onto me. You know what I'm saying? I find that very offensive. You know what I'm saying? When I'm like, okay, I accept you for being a human, but then you want to act another certain type of way towards me, and I'm not like that. I mean, I have friends that's in that spectrum, that Rainbow Coalition. You know what I'm saying? People I know, my relatives. I have no problem with them. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I'm saying, because of the way the world is today, there are no boundaries in society. You know what I'm saying? It's not frowned upon. It's like we supposed to accept everything about it, and also the way y'all catcall straight men and try to put men jackets on men and things like that. I think of straight men, I think that's like what disgusts me about it. But as far as them as people, I look at them as regular human beings. I don't find them repulsive like some people do. They humans just like us.
Well, can
Yeah,
I
let me
chime in
chime in
on
right
that?
Malik,
quick. Yeah, I'm in
hold on,
agreement
because
with
I
you
need
on that.
Malik.
As far as the trans people go, like, yeah, I look at them as humans and what I'm saying.
Hold
Like,
on,
no
Malik,
disrespect. I
I'm
mean, you're free to live however you want to live. You're free to present yourself however you want to present yourself. That's all
Right.
good. But the only thing I'll say is my only issue, and I don't really make it an issue, but just don't expect me to actually, look at you and consider you a woman the same as
Yeah,
a
I agree.
woman. It's like, we're not going to play with reality like that. You
I,
know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
So for you to tell
Right.
me that I'm supposed to look at you the same way as I would an actual woman, because see, my thing is like when they say that, I tell them like, look, I don't hate women. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean when I say that is I can't consider someone who is like me, who decides to change up their appearance and say they're the same as an actual woman. I'm like, to me, that's hating women, in my opinion. To me, it
Was
is.
Right.
that Bella?
Right.
So no, we can't do that one, homie.
Right. I'm with you. I agree totally. Totally.
Yeah, I agree too.
That's better, Malik. Malik, go ahead. You gotta come on mute.
While me,
So hit it down.
yeah, let me continue. What's this brother's name up here? I just heard talk perfect.
Perfectionist.
Is that how you pronounce it? The
Protector.
brother the brother that
I'm
was
gonna
just
call him that
talking.
because he got too much going on today.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me add on. And we just kicking it like the brothers, right? So let's kick it. So the reality, as he just, and I agree with every word he said verbatim. To me,
Malik, is that
Yeah,
you,
my sound
Malik?
better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing the sound go in and out. I couldn't hear nothing for a few minutes.
StreamYard
Go
acting
ahead.
up. So I
Mm-hmm.
agree with what the brother was saying right there. If you in environments, in certain environments where you can't be respectful and say, all right, look, you got the right. I agree with what this brother said. You got the right to live your life the way you want to. And I agree with Noble. You got the right in this country. You got the right to live your life the way you want to, but you can't expect me to buy into it and treat you like or treat or look at you like a woman. I think it's an insult to me when people say, "Well, you're homophobic." You just what is homophobic by me saying a woman is a woman? And then they label you, oh, you're a homophobic. Why? Because you don't like gay people. No, I'm not. I never said that. I'm saying I disagree with it. And I have the right to say I disagree with it without being labeled a hater. It's not hatred. You're just not equal to. And I agree with the brother when he said to me, it's an insult to women, just from my perspective. If anybody agree, they can chime in. But to me, when I see a man in a dress and a wig trying to equate himself with being a mother, because that's the separation. The word woman comes from the word womb, and the word man combined. Womb, man. Combine the word woman. That's the definition. That is the truest definition. Now you may emulate a woman and you can get stuff cut
Okay,
off.
yes.
All right, well I
Okay,
said
yes.
anybody can
Going
chime in.
outside the conversation.
Well
Okay,
I'm
I want
no, I'm talking
I
about the
want Malik
men.
to say something. I
Yeah, I'm
know, but
just talking to the brothers.
that's outside the conversation of just how it is with EJ and how he felt of dating. Well, calling himself dating straight man when we all know that he's dating down low men or bisexual men because they keep acting like the bisexual man does not even exist. When
Right,
they're literally
right.
in the outfit with Malik.
Yeah,
So y'all brothers can chime in.
yeah. I think that it's a couple of ways you can look at that community. Um, I kind of agree with ZX if they say that how he feels about them calling him a homophobe. So I can see where he'll always get into a controversy about that because that's his personal belief. And I think the other brother on here had the same belief. But also,
Class life. Class life.
I'm back.
Okay, go
Can you
ahead,
hear me?
Malik. Yeah, we heard you. Go ahead, Malik.
it's like a boundary thing. Like case in point, I could go have a beer with ODS, King Roman, or James, and it never be looked at as funny. But that's because I'm comfortable with who I am, and these men have never crossed the boundary line. So if a boundary line is established and nobody ever crosses it, you don't have any misunderstanding. I think the biggest part a lot of people tend to get is, and no disrespect to anybody on here, but sometimes some of those people on here could be agitating because they want to push themselves on you as opposed to you accepting them for who they are. If you kind of get what I'm saying. And again, I'm not trying to call out any names, but when everybody understands that I have my belief, you have your belief, I respect you for who you are, respect me for who I am, then you won't ever have a gray line. But if nobody gonna respect the gray line, then you're gonna get a lot of boundary steppers and you're gonna get a lot of sad faces, especially in real life. Cause that's one thing you don't do in real life is put that tag on a man that's straight. That's the worst thing you could do. That's like calling him a rat. But again, if everybody respects the boundary line and everybody respects each individual, you tend not to have no misunderstanding.
Can I ask you a question, Malik?
Go ahead.
You
All
know,
right. So like, and I'm gonna just put, and man, let me ask all the brothers. With when we talk about the interactions with that community, like I said, I have like my boundary is my wall is thick. It's like nah, but and Malik just said he would go have a beer. He would have a beer with certain individuals because the way they respect themselves and that they would never you could feel comfortable or cool around them, but when it comes to like you said going and having a beer and saying what's going on, or hanging out, I'm not going to a gay club to have a beer. We not doing none of that. We
that
just ain't
part.
doing that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
let me I was gonna
I
ask the
mean,
brothers,
I
would
mean,
the
I feel
brothers,
like,
would you go have a beer, would you go hang out,
yeah,
Malik, I
I'll
respect
go
you.
hang out. I'll go hang out with them, and I would like to say this, and no disrespect, but we've been on this topic for like almost 30 minutes, and there's so many other things that we could talk about because I don't want it to be like, it's an attack on them, but that community ain't anything like that. I think there's a lot of other areas that we could be covering besides this part of this time, and that's respectful. And I respect your opinion and the things you're saying. But it's like we
Can I
keep
add,
going in a circle
But
can I add,
it's
sir?
it's
going on and
pizza,
going
it's
on.
pizza show. It's pizza show. Don't have time for it.
Hold on, because y'all doing too much already. Hold on. Now, Ghetto done came back. I done had Cluster Light up here. I do want them to talk. They have not got a chance to talk. Go ahead, Cluster Light. I asked the question, how do you men feel about E.J. Johnson saying that he's dating straight men?
How I feel about it is this right here. Like, how straight are these men? Like, I doubt that they are straight, but no disrespect to the gay community, but y'all, those people are allowed to get away with saying anything, putting a title on stuff like only date straight men. What are you really saying? What are you really saying? I have been accused. I I have been accused of being gay, some guy in the bathtub with other men and all that jazz. And I understand now. Cause YouTube, I know I'm off beat. I'm a little bit high, folks. Um, YouTube crack it down like you gotta have action. It's okay for you to drop a dime on somebody now, but it better be facts. And these folks are lying on folks. The gay community cool with it. Like a lot of gay folks, they will actually join in
Right.
a person.
They
And I don't
weaponize
think
it.
that's fair. hmm
Yeah, go on mute.
And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, they weaponize it like ZX said, and they use it to their advantage, and other folks follow suit. And I don't think it's okay to go out here putting a bad rap or a stain on a straight man's jacket because a lot of us straight men, we sometimes we want to be cool with the gay community, but we know we can't because they will spin it. Oh yeah, as soon as they get mad at you, nigga, that's why I had you over at my house. You was doing this, that, and third, and none of this stuff ever happens. But since is that though, like the gay, I hate to say this, but I find the gay community equivalent to white women. Y'all can get away with anything you want, say what you want, and it's all lies. My bad, my dog barking. Y'all go ahead.
Okay, Ghetto, your turn.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy. E.J. Johnson's full of it. It's cap. It's just not truthful. He might, like somebody said, he might like straight looking men, and he also has enough money where he can say this crap and it matters. If the local LGBT in my community came out and said that, people wouldn't even bat an eye. So he's capping, and he got enough money to cap. It's that simple. But I will say though,
Okay, so now,
just because you go have a drink with a gay man, don't mean it has to be at a gay bar. My straight brothers drink at regular places. They don't. I mean, my gay brothers drink at gay straight places. They don't always drink at gay bars. So just because you have a drink with a gay man doesn't mean it has to be at a gay bar.
I think what I was
right.
saying, I think what I was saying, just to be clear, is that when you open yourself up to that, then you open yourself up to that assumption also, depending on where you're interacting with that individual. I'm not going out of my way. I'm not having a beer with you. I'm not having a hamburger with you. If I see you, I speak. I can
You
speak,
gotta
and
come off mute.
I can
I can't
respect
hear. I
you.
gotta drop down.
Damn, I knew that was gonna happen.
Stream
Oh,
yard.
I can't stand StreamYard with this shit. Professionals, you gotta come off mute. Let me move him.
Y'all hear me?
I think his shit fucking up. No, Malik, no. You sound like the chipmunks done took over your sound. And professions, you need to come off mute so I can hear you. Come off mute. Can he not come off mute? Oh Lord.
He may not hear you. I hear you clearly. Can
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
hear
kick
me?
him down.
Hey, I hear
Yeah,
y'all.
I hear everybody. Yeah, okay. So I'm waiting for them to come back so I can get to this next topic because they probably ain't gonna hear me when I do
Well,
bring
while
up
you
this
do that,
next topic that I
let
want
me while you do that, let me add on while you
to
waiting
that.
on me to come back. Yeah.
Profession.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna call him perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's
Okay,
going on
he's
because like
It's StreamYard.
it's StreamYard. It's StreamYard.
I was gonna say, man, my shit acting great value right now. But go ahead.
ZX wanted to say his final say. Go ahead,
Yeah,
ZX, so I can get to
on
the
this
next.
on this subject. I think the
Hold on
people who
before you
support.
do that. Hold on before you do that. Malik,
Yeah, okay. The audio.
it's your audio. Can you get on Brooke's phone? Cause what the fuck? It's staticky and everything.
I done switched devices twice.
Man, upgrade that Maryland phone, Malik.
Wait, is you home, Malik? Because it's low as fuck and you crackling bad as hell and it's skipping.
I done switched devices
Nope,
twice.
nope, nope. Brooke, tell your husband. No, no. Go ahead, VA.
Yeah, I think just to be clear, and it's about reality and an illusion. What I was saying about uh the son of Magic Johnson, I agree with Ghetto. The only reason that this is even something that the community at large is going to talk about is because of his stature. The reality is that any man sleeping with another man or attracted to another man is gay, and period. And then people don't do that community any justice. Any justice. If you support the gay community, attacking a straight man, all you doing is creating a bigger enemy. That's all. People are going to react to it. Oh, you like them. Oh, okay. Well, let me show you how much I don't like them. Since y'all want to play the game, y'all want to be ignorant and say, you're not, you're struggling. Oh, okay. Well, let me show
Hold
you.
on,
Let me
VA.
show you exactly.
VA,
Yeah,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
Malik.
Go ahead.
There we go. There we go. Loud and clear. Loud and
Mhm.
clear. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna close out. So when people weaponize that homosexuality and use it as a weapon to attack somebody, all you're doing is making people stand harder, 10 toes down. Well, let me show you how much I don't like them. Let me show you how much I'm not a part of it. So you're not helping them, and you're not condemning me or anybody else. You're really not. You're just having fun, but you're hurting them. And I don't think a lot of people look at it that way. When you weaponize it, in that way, if you want to have a discussion, you have to be ready to receive the answers that you just don't like sometimes. But it's the truth. Straight men do not and are not attracted sexually to gay men. That's that.
Oh,
That's your thing.
that's correct. That's correct. Now, Malik,
I totally.
Let's take up
did it
donations, get
sound
them
up?
a phone. Yeah, we gotta get them a phone.
Did it, nah,
Hey,
nah,
ZX.
it went out.
My,
What happened
my bad.
now?
No, I wanted to ask
Fuck,
ZX a question
man.
about what the statement.
Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go, Malik. There you go. Malik, if this sound not trying to let him work even on Brooks, because Brooks sound don't even do this. It's really not trying to let him talk.
He might be trying to connect
Okay.
a device or like
Okay,
a Bluetooth or
moving
something.
right along. We're gonna move right on this topic now. Now I want to know how y'all feel about this war that's going on and Trump trying to recruit y'all into going to war. Will y'all go? Are y'all down
Hell
for
no.
it? How do y'all
Hell
feel?
no. Hell no.
Um,
Cause
I'm for-
hold on, who was
I'm
about to talk?
No, no, we're gonna go in order. No, we're gonna go. GX gonna go. Then you gonna go. Profession, perfect, and then Classy Light's gonna go, and Malik gonna be last because he can't get that.
well. First of all, I'm not worried about that aspect of the war, like going to it and fighting physically, because I'm at an age where they won't draft me. But far as the politics of the world war, I don't agree with it. I think that it really has nothing to do with the reason why they saying it. I don't think our country should actually be involved with it. I think that it's really just something that the small hats want, the Zionists want. You know what I'm saying? I think they've been trying to take over that region of the world for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I think they really trying to get the people that's the brown people, the sand niggas, from up over there and gain control of that region. That's because it's so valuable. Just take the Strait of Hormuz right now. By them shutting that down, it shut down a whole bunch of oil going worldwide. That's not even affecting our market, but it is not affecting our output, but it's affecting the gas markets. That's why it's so high. Like I say, I think it's a whole bunch of BS. I think it's distraction from the Epstein files. In a sense, I think it's all tied in together when you understand that Jeffrey Epstein was Mossad agent also. So that's the Israel Secret Service. So I think it's an Israeli thing. I think it got everything to do with Israel and not the United States of America. And I yield the floor for right now.
Okay, Malik.
So now we talking about the war.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that next topic, but you can go and finish what you had to say. Cause I know your sound was messing up, so I'm gonna let you take the flow to finish what you got to say.
No, I'm a flow with it. I've been keeping up with the war, but not a lot. I've been dealing with more so the wars we have in the U.S. Like it's a big no offense to nobody. It's a big war going on in Philly, Chicago, Louisiana. It's a lot of big wars going on here internally that I've been trying to understand how we should get a grip on first, as opposed to paying attention to what 47 doing. But that's just me. Um, I think he's the master of misdirection. So that whole thing, that whole war, is to cover up something, and I can't tie it into Epstein because I really ain't been paying attention to that particular situation. But he's trying to cover up something, to me, bigger than that. I can't quite put my finger on it just yet.
Okay, thank you for that. Go ahead, ZX.
Yeah, I gotta agree that it's a distraction. Um, if you know the history, and I think that's the biggest problem for all of us, not knowing the history. The history, it began. Oh, I get a clock. Nobody else get a clock. Thanks, pizza. The history
Well,
is what's
I mean, you
important.
do you can
No,
you can
no,
be
no,
in the
no, no,
wrong
no. It's cool. It's cool. I'm just telling you. I notice it. It's
All
it's
right.
cool though. It's cool. You know, the reality is you have to know the history. If you're talking about the war in our Iran, it's really religious based. That's what it really boils down to. If you know your Bible, you'll understand why Israel wants to take over that whole region. It comes down to religion. Was Donald Trump gullible? Yes, he was gullible. Is it going to impact the United States? Yes. 20% of the world's oil comes from those oil fields over there in uh, Iran and Kuwait. All of that is right there. 20%. That's why gas prices are going up. Do I think it's a justifiable war? No, I don't. Would I fight it? Only if it came to the shores of America, because that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a gun. I'm gonna fight whoever because that's my home, and we have to respect our home. At the end of the day, yes, I would fight that. Would I want my son or my daughter or my grandson to die in that type of war? No, because
I,
that's how wars are started. Wars are started by old men, majority old white men, and the poor are the ones that go fight the war. Do I think it's justified? No. Is it going to affect us? Yes, because we're in a geo-economic situation where what happens in one place
So,
affects us. So
hey,
should we be aware? Yes.
yeah.
A lot of people are oblivious. They just don't know why gas prices is going up. And ignorance is bliss. So when I look at that war, I look at the sons of Ham, Ishmael, and they just been fighting for thousands of years. It ain't nothing new. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Can I ask you a question right quick? I don't mean to be stepping on nobody's toes, but do
yeah,
you
you
think
stepping
that?
on my
Definitely
toe.
is no. It definitely is no because I want the rest of the other men to answer none.
All right, my bad. I apologize.
Okay, go ahead, class light.
Yeah, I disagree with the war, but I want to say bare minimum due to the fact that our government has spoken is all over social media, our text messaging, how we text folks has been compromised. All that they've been paying attention to what we've been doing. But yeah, the Israel that's not America's war, but apparent. I feel like this ZX, Israel got something over uh, Trump or something. Maybe the Epstein's files. I don't know, but I know this. That's not our war to be fighting in. Israel is trying to take over more land than what's really theirs. First of all, those, in my opinion of it all, those aren't the real Jews. These people will put you in prison if you ask them to take a DNA test to determine if they are Jews or not. They don't want none of that smoke, but they will censor us. This is a very sensitive topic, pizza. But as far as American people going over there fighting the older man billionaires war like ZX was talking, nah, like I follow the Ali trend. Those Iranians ain't did a damn thing to me. But at the same time, we got babies, and they trying to. I think the age limit is 18 to 26 for the draft. All
Facts.
my kid, all my kids are underneath that. They almost grown, but they underneath that. So they prime to go for the draft. But I'm saying, hey, send me, I'll go.
Okay,
But you ain't taking my kids
Yeah.
uh to fight your billionaire
they're
war.
not
They
sending
don't.
the kids. They just the more
They,
the adult males, I
no,
believe,
that's hey, peace. I
from
understand. That's what I'm
18
saying.
and up.
That's what I'm saying. No, I understand it's 18 and up. I'm just saying people's kids. Like you sending other folks' kids to go fight a
I
billionaire's
get you.
war, but they kids sitting somewhere on the beach relaxing with their legs crossed, eating the finest food and drinking the finest drinks, while our kids losing their lives. No, no, man, I might be going to jail. Yeah, I might be going to jail or worse because I'm not benefiting from this war. My people, my family, not benefiting from this war. America's not benefiting from this war.
100.
So why are we losing our lives for your shit? I love my country, but I ain't about to lose my life for it. Cause they damn sure. Well, I can't say that. Scratch that part, y'all. Hey, I'm gonna hand the baton.
Yes, please do. Go ahead, perfect. You in
All
this
right,
vein,
so
child.
yeah, so let me try not to be too long-winded because it's a lot that goes with this. The short answer to the whole fighting question, fuck no. But as far as everything else though, like what's this whole thing about and how do I feel about it? See, what people got to understand is that this is part of a much larger agenda. All
Yeah.
right. So it's about territorial expansion. It's called the Greater Israel Project. All right. So basically every war that America has fought, I would say, over the last 100 years or so has been for the benefit
Really,
of that group of people. You know, no war that we have fought has been our own war. We haven't done it for ourselves. It's been for the benefit of this group. So when we went to war with Iraq, Afghanistan, that was all a part of the Greater Israel Project because they want to expand, like I said, their territory. And somebody asked, what does Israel have over Trump? Well, first of all, Israel has dirt over everybody, not just Trump, over everybody in politics, everybody in entertainment, everything. Because what they do, and this is the importance of the Epstein files, they blackmail them. All right. They blackmail them. They catch them doing shit they don't have no business doing sexually. And they use that to blackmail them. It's like, look, if you don't do what we want, the whole world gonna find out about what you've been doing. You don't
Yep.
want that, that kind of thing, right? But even more so than that, and by the way, people like to say Epstein, but this shit been going on for hundreds of years though before Epstein was even born. So he's really a nobody, really, because this, yeah. But anyways, and what it really gets down to is Israel was founded by the Rothschild family. And who is the Rothschild family? They are the family that owns like basically all the central banks around the world. They create money and loan money to governments around the world. All right. They own the media, they own the education, they own some of the largest industries, all that stuff. So basically they control pretty much some of the most important stuff in the world. So it's kind of hard to just buck them like that. And they use America as their attack dog when they want to get something done militarily, right? So that's what a lot of people don't understand. And Trump was not, I'm gonna disagree with whoever said this earlier. Trump was not, tricked or whatever, because Trump went into his first presidency. He had just gotten bailed out by the Rothschild family for one of his failing businesses, right? And so he put a Rothschild agent named Wilbur Ross in charge of the Secretary of Commerce. All right. So Trump has been a Rothschild agent for a long time now. And in fact, all of his children are either in relationships with or married to Jews, right? So there's that. So Trump know damn well what he's doing. But to get to the even bigger part of it, though, like I say, they control everything. So it's hard to just say, you know what, we're gonna turn our backs on them, whatever, whatever, because you run the risk of like collapsing the entire economy and all that kind of stuff. And then Israel also has what's called the Samson option, right? And this Samson option is basically starting back around the early 60s when JFK was president. Um, they had planted nuclear bombs all around the world, right? And they basically said, like, look, if we don't get what we want, we're gonna nuke the entire world. And so they also got that kind of blackmail over the world because the Samson option. And let me also say this. Basically, you had people warning us for like about the past 40, 50 years now that hey, there's gonna come a day when Israel is gonna get America to attack Iran on their behalf. It's coming. Now, of course, when you make predictions, it's hard to say when it's gonna pan out, right? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say that. But we see it now, though. Now, how far will it go? We don't know. But to bring it back to a more mundane topic, though, you see the oil prices shooting up the way they are. I mean, that's just, I don't think a lot of people know like how much of our economy, the prices that we pay is tied to oil prices. Because this same thing happened in 2022, with the Russia-Ukraine war and when oil prices shot up because of that. But this has potential to be worse, for obvious reasons. And so you got food prices and you got everything else tied to the price of oil. So if this thing doesn't end soon, and see Trump, he throws out little things every once in a while, right? Where he says, "Oh, we're thinking about a ceasefire." Then he'll turn around and say, "Well, fuck that. We're gonna bomb them tomorrow." So we're pretty much playing wait and see at this moment. Hold on, somebody says Iran has wanted us Americans dead. You can believe that bullshit if you want to. See, again, the people I'm talking about, they own the media. All right. All the information that you get,
Hold
They
on,
feed it to you
Malik.
via the media. All right. So that's been the propaganda.
Malik,
You know, all this old radical
you should have
Islam. They
came
want
on,
to.
bro, because that sound ain't working for you, Malik. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just correcting
No,
that person.
So let
I
me ask,
do agree.
let me
I
ask the
don't
brother
feel
a
that
question.
way.
Can I ask the brother a question? On topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, yeah. Would you agree that this whole thing comes down? I mean, the simple version is the Bible. It comes down to the Bible. The whole fight between Israel and the Arabs. It goes right back to the Bible.
I
That's it.
mean, look at the people. Well, first of all, you got one group of people who really do consider themselves to be chosen, because of words written, in religion, not just the Bible, but also, in their text, the Torah and especially the damn Talmud. But they believe themselves to be chosen, superior to everybody else, and
Religion.
so, huh?
Religion. Religion, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying. That's what I'm
simple, the
saying.
simple.
So,
I'm saying this. So they, I mean, the simple. To simplify, without going through every detail of it, it comes down to religion. The Arabs versus the Jews is that fight has been for thousands of years, hundreds of years, based on religion. They are the Arabs and the Jews are sons of who? Abraham,
or
right?
somebody, but
Abraham.
just a moment.
Abraham. Abraham. So the point is this: if we don't understand where these things begin, we're not going to understand why it's going on. And that's the point that I was saying when I said we have to know our history. Our history. It not just what's going on, but where did it start? And a lot of people get caught up with distractions, and a lot of people distract. They want to hate, deflect. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. But until you get down to the core of any issue, where did it begin? We're never going to understand it. And the reality is, the simple answer is that it begins with brothers, two brothers. Arabs and Jews are brothers. They're more like than anything. And if you go into the Bible, you will see that God did grant God's chosen people who they are, all of that. We ain't got to get into it. But in the Bible, it says that God gave them a land between the Euphrates and another river. And that is why they're fighting. They're fighting over God's word. And that scares me. That part right there. Religion, organized religion. That part scares me because people are willing to die for what they believe in, and they're going to be casualties from it. Now, another reality, Noble, maybe you could chime in, is that they just testing out their new weapons. I mean, they spend all this money on this weaponry, and instead of blowing up the world, they create situations where they could play war. And they playing war. They testing out this new weapon. That's what I'm keeping up with. And when I look at black people going back to Malik and the real war, because we behind enemy lines right here in America, right here. The thing
I,
that scares me, the thing that truly scares me, is that when they get tired of playing those games, what's going to be the new
Malik,
game?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting my turn.
Go ahead, I'll
I'm
pass
just
on.
okay.
You can tell me.
So if I took a think about it, war is about money, and if we really want to look at it, the gas price is shot up, but yet Elon Musk is on pace to release so many electronic vehicles, and I think by 2029 or 2030, the US is supposed to be like 60% electronic EV. So let's look at the total dynamic of what's really going on. Because I think Elon stepped down from one position. He liquidated so much of his stock and some. He's made a lot of big money moves. And if we all understand the concept of war, war is backed by money. So we might not want to look so much at the Epstein files. We might want to start following that trail of that money.
Let me chime in right quick if you're done.
I agree.
Um, oh, you was gonna say something?
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing. Just I agree with you.
Okay,
yeah, I
let me
think, and
chime
I
in right.
also think it's good. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. But
No, just real quick. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with the people who say it's about money. I don't disagree, but one thing I want y'all to consider is that the people that we're talking about, they create the money. All right, they print the money, so it can't be about money necessarily for them because they create it. So you know, I just want y'all to consider that.
So now hold on, chat. Hold on. So you just said that the people who are at war print the money. I'm gonna need you
Yeah.
to be clear because the United States doesn't print their own money
Well,
first. The-
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like the people, the shadow government, the central
Y'all
bankers, where
both
the
saying the
international
same
bankers.
thing, Malik.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
I was just trying to get clarity on what he was saying because I also heard the brother mention the Rothschilds.
yeah.
That's all. I'm just trying to make sure we on the same page. That's it. Go
and,
ahead.
Yeah, the
and
Rothschilds and other banking families as well, though. But yeah, yeah. So the folks who are like really pulling the strings, yeah, they create the money. So I understand why folks say that, but I just feel like, you just got to
Let
consider
me ask
that
you
these
that.
folks who are pulling the strings, they create the money. So they don't,
Yeah,
more to it.
it's a,
they
it's
fund the
a,
war, but what is the goal? They fund all of this, and that's why I said you have to know the history, the religious reason why we're at war. Yes, they print the money. Yes, they got societies, and yes, they got Rothschilds and Epstein's. Yes, but what is the goal? The goal is to take the land, and so Israel can fulfill a prophecy. Yes, yes, everything y'all saying is true. But
and,
what I'm saying is it goes back to religion, and that's a dumbass reason for people to be dying. It's a dumbass reason because it's about your belief system and my belief system. That's it. One follows Allah and one follows um Yahweh.
I think it's deeper than that. I think it's way deeper than that because I think that's a form of control, controlling the masses. Even those religions, that's like a exoteric part of spirituality, not an esoteric. A lot of the people like these Rothschilds and Khazarians and all these people, they look at the esoteric and the occult things of the world, the shadow side, the dark side per se. They're on a whole different clock and time than they are on, that we are on. You know what I'm saying? They got time manipulated. They got us on a whole different calendar. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that quote unquote pulling the strings. It has nothing to do with religion. Religion is one of the most forms of control they got out here, all along with race, class, sex, and all that. All that is a control. All that is propagated control over our minds to keep
Can I
us
ask you a
divided.
question? If you
Yeah,
excuse me, what's the goal? So if
the,
somebody is controlling, hold on, let me just get it out. If somebody's controlling something, they're controlling it for what? And that is the perfect answer. We have to understand what the what is. We understand the tools, the manipulation, the misdirection, but what's the goal? That's my point. And we have to look further into it and look ahead because we live for the weekend. We live to get dressed up, go out, birthdays, whatever. But these people are looking to the future, and until we start looking into the future, we gonna lose because people are planning for the future, and
but
that's what this war is about.
and yet
Talking about the war,
and
just to
yet
stay on subject.
and still we
Let me
still
ask you
talking
something right
about
quick,
something
bro.
that happened 6,000
Have
years
you ever
ago.
heard of an organization
Baby.
called the Fabian Socialists?
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
got
He got to get where he got to
No,
get some Wi-Fi.
it ain't doing you no justice, Malik.
Or he in the car. It's one of the two.
Thank you, born dog. Yeah, because I'm about to do this last topic with y'all because we've been here for 2 hours and I don't want to be here for a long time because I do have a live 6:30 for the women. So, um, but I'm waiting. I don't know what happened. The sounds is messing up too, so I don't know why YouTube, I mean StreamYard is doing that, but the sound is not doing the men justice today. Okay, I want to hear a lot that Malik had to say, but it keeps messing with his sound. Even Brook phone is fucking up. It could be where he at. Okay, Noble,
Yeah,
Noble.
you hear me?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, go ahead. Noble, Noble. Say what you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
say.
Like I was saying, it's all about control. You say, what's the end game? The end game is to keep us slaves and working for them. Keep them.
Boom. That's
That's
the
what it
answer.
is. Keep us
That is
fighting
the
for
answer.
them.
You're right.
Keep keep.
Now you're cooking. That is the
Can
goal.
I get my thought out, brother? Respectfully, can I get my thought out? And like I say, it's just about control. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Project 2030, they say we'll have nothing and we'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? They trying to form a society where we are just some subservient automatons that's hooked up to technology that's been transhumanized. That's their end game. That's what they want us to do. They just want a whole bunch of robots. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to make this war so much about Iran. That's not even the real name of that place. The real name of that place is Persia. You know what I'm saying? Do a lot of people know that the Euphrates has dried up? There's a whole bunch of things going on in the world outside of just them up here going over there for oil. Look what's going on, what happened in Nicaragua. When they went over there and got Maduro. Look what they doing in Mexico far as, the war on the quote unquote cartel. Is that what that really about, or is it about another level that they about to shape this world in, this geopolitical, that don't give a fuck about your flag or what you believe in or your religion?
Malik.
They have an agenda, and their agenda is total and complete control. And I yield the floor.
Mm. Okay. Malik.
All right, hopefully we got this better, man. This StreamYard don't like
There
my
you go.
phone at all. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
it's back to working.
we talking about the war still, right? Because I think I also heard you say
Yeah.
you could go to another topic.
Yeah, we still on the war though. We still on the war.
Um, yeah, I think it's backed by money. I can't follow the paper trail just yet. But I think we need to focus on the war in the United States first. Because like I said, Chicago, Detroit, definitely Philadelphia. Like every time I look at the news in Philly, they losing people in Philly like flies. And it's, not only that, and not that a lot of people probably care, you got police officers getting killed in Chicago, just going home. You got fire. It's a war internally that we need to pay attention to first, and then look at the bigger picture on the outside. But I'll yield on that.
Well, I think we got to recognize our power as limited as it may appear. Being a consumer, you never have any true power.
Oh, the I guess the chicken
Yeah,
was the rooster was over there agreeing.
yeah. You
It's
know,
over agreeing with the
when
VA.
thank you. When we as a people are just consumers and we don't maximize our economic power behind the enemy line, um, Malik, that's where we're losing because we're not taking advantage of the power that we do have, and we're easily distracted. And just being a consumer, you have no true power as a people. So when I see people say, "Well, we need to focus and we need to get active," well, if you want to get active, then we're gonna have to do some things. We're gonna have to stop doing a lot of things, and we don't want to stop because we've been conditioned to continue. You dig? And when I say stop, I'm talking about economically. We're gonna have to stop buying certain things. We're gonna have to save our money. We're gonna have to invest in one another. Now you're a powerhouse. But as long as you're a consumer and they know it and they have us fractured and divided, then we will be what Noble said, slaves. Because in reality, that's all you are. You're a working slave. You got a job, you're a slave. What they say when you go to work, going to the plantation, that's the plantation, your job. Unless you buy your independence and you become self-employed. Now you're independent. No matter how much money you get, you still can be taken down because they always find something that they can take everything you accumulate and take it away from you. That's the game. So that's my opinion. The war in Iran is a part of a bigger picture, and it's all about religion. That war, that war is about religion. There are other wars is about control, economics. Yes, I'm all with it. So everybody is pretty much right when I listen to it, but you got to be able to break it down and separate it.
All right, let me chime in right quick. All right, so somebody in the chat keep on asking, what a black man gonna do besides talk about it, besides talk. And my answer to that question is, well, first and foremost, before you can do anything, education is important. You know, like we got to have these conversations and educate each other about what's going on because I talk to people and stuff, and I listen to what people say, and a lot of people don't really know what's going on, and it's so bad that
Mm-hmm.
here I would say more than half the population, whether they realize it or not, they actually support the people who are responsible for this stuff. So education is
Yeah.
vitally important. So this whole deflectionary tactic of what are y'all gonna do about it besides talk? No, talking is very important because people have to at least learn what's going on and what side to take about it. Now, going back to the whole slavery thing, the whole global slavery
Oh,
thing. Let me
and
say this.
also don't forget to point out that they also said they ain't got no problems with the black. They released the black folks over there. So that's another thing. If they ain't got no issues with y'all, why the fuck do y'all need to have issues with them? Now, Iran said they ain't got no issue with the black folks. So why do we?
Well,
Never mind. Let me shut up. Go ahead. Let me hush. This y'all conversation, not mine.
they know who's working for who. I'll just say it like that. They know who's working for who. But let me say what I was about to say, like okay, like the global slavery thing that was just brought up. Now, again, this has been going on, right? This has been going on for a very long time. It just looks different, as the world progresses, you know. Um, because normally when we think about slavery and whatnot, we think about, the way we think about it. I ain't gonna describe it, but when you look at countries, I hate to say this, but like you look at third world countries, right? You look at like because some people ask like, okay, the minerals and natural resources that they extract from, African countries, Latin American countries, Asian countries, Middle Eastern, whatever, right? So how do they typically do this? Well, guess what? They have organizations. They got the International Monetary Fund. They got the World Bank. So those countries usually end up some because a lot of them already like are in pretty again, I don't want to insult them, but are pretty, let's say, lowly living conditions, right? And so you will have those countries who get in debt to those organizations, the IMF and the World Bank, thinking that you know things are about to get better because now we got some funding, now we can do something, whatever, whatever. But what they don't realize is that when you take that money from those international banking organizations, now they got control of your country. So for you to pay this loan back, when it gets to a point where, okay, you're missing interest payments and all this stuff, guess what? Now we can swoop in and take your natural resources. We're gonna tell you to cut government spending in this area, let these American companies, set up shop, in your country, and we're gonna elect your leaders. And if you don't have the kind of leader we feel like you should have, we're gonna snatch his ass up out of there and put in who we want in there. So that's why a lot of these countries like that, that's why they end up in these situations. And the ladies say, "What always excuses?" I mean, so what exactly do you want people to do? Like, I mean, so you expect us to go take up arms? I mean, what exactly do you want us to do? I mean, because the best solution I can give you is worry about yourself and those for whom you are responsible. All right. Your wife,
What?
your kids, those
Yeah.
around you, you educate them, you do what you can to put them in a position to win, no matter what happens as best you can. But these whole utopian ass fantasies where y'all feel like, dudes are supposed to go out there and fight the whole structure and take everybody down. That's the fucking movies. So I don't know where y'all get this childish way of thinking from, but it is what it is, though.
That's part of the control aspect that I was saying that gets a lot of our people, and disrespectfully, because a lot of us haven't been exposed to the truth, or rather the truth has came in your direction. He's like, oh, he crazy. He don't know what he's talking about.
How many
And,
likes I got? How many likes I got? Go ahead, Noble. Sorry.
and we is like in a situation when there's so much information out there, and you still can like call somebody crazy or don't, or we're not doing enough. Do people actually know that they is not going to allow us to have the resources to fight against their system? And the only way that their system is going to fall is from within their own system. And I think that's a lot that's going on the planet, the whole planet right now. You know what I'm saying? Not just Trump and Israel and all. There's a whole bunch of other people in behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff in front of us is actors. We watching a show. You know what I'm saying? It's really orchestrated for us to have all these discourse against each other instead of like actually hearing each other out and listening to each other's perspective, just so we can know where each other stand, and maybe be able to enlighten and talk to each other. Be able to at least agree on something, but we can disagree, but still be able to leave home with something that could benefit us.
Let me say one more thing to this piece, if I can.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you
Go ahead.
facts. At the end of the day, it's about facts. And it's about genetic domination. It's always been a race. A race. And I tell you, it's about the future. Some people, and here's a fact, white people, and I'm not being racist, I'm just being honest. White people are 10%, 10% of the world's population. But yet and still they control 90% of the population. See, when you talk about wars and you talk about power, you gotta understand what's the end goal and what is the fight about. When I tell you about Iran, that's about religion. When I talk about the economic power in the world and the World Bank and all of that, that is controlled by 5% of the world's population. 90% of the world are people of color, whether you be yellow, brown, black, or blue. That's the other 90% all around the world. You got 5% of the world's population controlling everything. So when you talk about power, what is it about? What do they want the power to do? They want the power to survive genetically. It's about keeping their race going, keeping their children educated in power. keeping us away from their women, children, and so that they can continue to reproduce. Let's just keep it a buck. That's what it's about. So if white folk are 10% of the world, and this is a fact, if they are 10% of the world's population, that means that 5% are white men. So you got 5% of the world's population running the world. Now,
Hey,
to
GA.
me, let me get
Yeah.
my thought out, Booster.
All right,
Let
my
me get
bad.
my thought,
I just
Booster.
want to ask you a question.
Let me finish it. So when we as a people talk about power, control, the mechanisms in place that we fight, that we see, you know, I ask all the time, what is it about though? We could talk about the problems, and that person in the chat is right. What we gonna do about it? That is a fact. What are we going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to continue to fight one another. We're going to continue to, tear each other down. But if you want to sit down for real and talk about it, what do we need to do? We have to use our power. And we have power. We definitely have power. But we got to recognize what it's about and what their goal is and what our goals are for the future. That's all I would say to that conversation. As a black man, sis or brother, that's real talk.
Now let me explain this also, bro. Since we're getting towards solutions now. Now to kind of give like I guess a brief overview of like how do they have so much power, and then getting towards the whole solution
Hold
part
on,
of it.
excuse me, bro. Excuse me, bro. One real quick. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But when you got negative people, when you're having a serious conversation, you got an idiot that will contribute to the conversation. Well, you're gonna call their mama tomorrow. See, you're a deflection. That's coon behavior. Now you want to play games or you want to be adults? Right now we being adults. Now go
Brother,
ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
I
brother,
ain't
So
we
gonna do
now,
having
that.
a conversation on the panel.
okay,
We're not having a
okay, okay.
conversation
Let
in
me
the chat.
start off with a simple. Okay,
All right, GA.
because I be asking people sometimes like, okay, the police, for example, right? Why? Okay, if they were given like an unlawful order to go out there and violate, everyday citizens and stuff, do something that's clearly against the law because they were told to. Why do they do it even though they know it's wrong? Because they depend on the paycheck. Not necessarily because they agree with what's going on, but because they depend on the check. If they don't get the paycheck, they can't feed their family, right? And it's with so many people. And my point with that is the people who control this system right now, like, okay, the military. Well, how do you get the military to do what you want them to do? By such a small group of people. If you control the money and they're dependent on you for a paycheck to feed themselves, their families, and whomever else, then for the most part, unless they just, unless they get courageous, they're gonna pretty much do what you say to keep that paycheck coming in because everybody is pretty much in survival mode and stuff, at all times almost, right? And so this gets to the point that a lot of this control is like largely economic. There are some other factors, but my point is that a lot of the control has to do with the fact that they're dependent on these people to survive. And you don't have a lot of people out there who are willing to, basically buck that shit, and just do what's right for the greater good, because they're kind of myopic in their thinking. So, getting back to what was said earlier about, breaking free from the system and maybe creating your own communities, maybe, and um, consuming less and all that kind of stuff. So, as long as you realize that, I feel like, how this control is had in the first place, then I feel like we can start maybe getting towards some more practical solutions. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this whole thing about just becoming completely independent of the system, that's not realistic on a large scale, at least not in the short term, But for now, understanding and moving towards it, I do feel like we can get there eventually.
Really?
And what is up with all these old hateful ass comments in the
And
chat,
in
dude, bro?
order,
Like, it's okay.
That's what I
I
was
used to
addressing.
work in
That's
the
what I was
investment
Y'all
talking
gotta
about.
industry,
ignore
Jigsaw.
ignore the
I
chat.
can't hear him.
Ignore the chat.
No, pizza. They make a point. Pizza. They're part of the problem. See, when you are having a
No,
structured conversation. No, listen. Just let me say it, please. And it's a fact. If they say we want to build, we want to have conversations that are productive, and that's what you're providing a platform for these type of constructive conversations. And we all don't gotta agree, but you cannot distract, deflect, and be hateful from outside. That's not entertainment. That's not a form. It's stupidity on blast. And saying, why are you talking about this when we're talking about that? That's the problem within our community. A perfect example. So yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brothers.
Can I say something, ZX, right
well,
quick?
I'm,
Can I
I'm gonna
say
say,
something?
go ahead, champ.
What I want to say is that it's a
wait,
lot of
no,
good.
but let Malik say something. He been waiting this long time. Malik.
So the biggest problem, and I keep ZX and everybody keeps saying the chat is mentioning the problems. Here's the biggest reason why we're never gonna get anywhere as a people: pride and ego. Until every man and woman checks their pride and their ego, we're gonna be stuck in the same circle. Be it a big circle or a small circle, it's gonna be the same circle. So in order to be able to get further, we're gonna have to break that circle and make that circle into a line or some type of road to where as though we can start to accomplish the goals that we set. Like ZX said, I think somebody mentioned like kind of like a Black Wall Street. We have something similar to that here. The problem with the Black Wall Street nowadays is our people think, oh, yo, hook us up. That's the first thing they say is hook us up, yo, hook us up. And when you go into Macy's and Heck Company, you don't ask for a hookup. The price is the price. So a lot of times we're going to find ourselves in the same rut because we don't want to see each other grow. The moment one person thinks they got 5 cents more than somebody else, they start to talk down to somebody. They start to floss, and they're not realizing is, the same way you got that 5 cent today, I could get the 5 cent tomorrow. But if we put our 5 cents together, we're going to have 10 cents. And that's the problem. We don't want to put it together. We want to be in the competition, and everybody wants to defecate on everybody else. That's just my opinion.
Bro, let me add
But
this to what you're saying too. Let me add this right quick. Cause see, I've been having these kind of discussions and tuning in, for years, like, just talking about these things, bouncing ideas off each other and stuff. And from what I see, bro, one of the main issues, man, is that a lot of these folks, one of the main things, okay, the idea of like what that would look like, what the whole structure would look like, for us to like do what it takes to like break free from this system and, who needs to be in support of what, you know, you got a lot of folks who bump heads about, what that would look like. And so, who's supposed to do it and, how it's supposed to be done. And hell, we can't even really much agree on that because there's a lot of, well, I think you said this, like there's a lot of ego that goes on and there's a lot of miseducation as well, man. So I feel like that part right there would have to be, ironed out as well, bruh. Cause like that can be a big problem. Cause it's like if we got the same goal, but yet everybody got all these different ideas about how we're supposed to get there. Don't get me wrong, you can try different things at one time and see which one succeeds, but oftentimes, man, these people end up at war with each other. Because like, okay, I'm reading the chat right now. You got a lot of folks right now. I mean, that illustrates my point. It's like they are just downright hateful because you're not moving the way they feel like you should move, right? And so it's like you're proposing solutions, but you're not doing it the way they feel like you should be doing it. And so it's that kind of thinking, bro. That's really gonna have this whole shit still born if any serious effort was made towards it.
And that was my biggest point. So the one thing I'm starting to learn to do is not read the chat. Because the chat seems to me they're gonna be on your side one way, the next day they're gonna be against you. The chat be wishy-washy. Plus, a lot of times the chat wants controversy. They don't want a resolve. And the biggest thing I can give you is it's like medication. It's no money in the cure. It's no money in the cure. It's money in me keep giving you a prescription to keep medicating. So if that's the philosophy that everybody gonna have, you're gonna keep having everybody getting prescriptions until you realize that certain things can be cured. But again, if I give you the cure, how can I not make any money? That's how a lot of people look at certain things. So you're 100% right as far as what you're saying. But we got to look at it this way though. The complaint department is full. We need resolutions. And until we start to get resolutions, we're going to get too many complaints. And the more complaints we get, that means we still at the same place. I'll be wanting somebody to say, hey, let's try this. Let's try that.
I
Well,
think,
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm
and
saying,
then
man. It's like, well, first of all, let me say this. Well, not complaining, but me mentioning the chat. It's not about the chat itself. I'm really using the chat as an example of what
can
you're
you hear
liable to
me,
run
people?
into, when you're out there talking to people.
No, they can't hear
That's
me.
my point. You're gonna run into people who got all kind of different ideas, who are gonna heckle you and hound you, give you, all that kind of stuff, in the real world. Because like I say, I've been having these discussions for years, you know what I'm saying? So I run into people in the real world who do the exact same thing. So it's really just an example. But getting back to what you said, man, about solutions and, we need to be doing X, Y, and Z. That's what I'm talking about, bro. And in the real world, I've had these
That's that one
conversations
too.
with people, and it's constructive, when they're being
Yeah,
genuine.
you
It's
know, boo.
constructive.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was
I
just making
agree
sure
with that,
y'all
brother.
heard me, but what I was gonna say earlier was like, I know it's a lot of negative comments in there, but it's also a lot of good comments. I mean, they really like enjoying the conversation, and I think we can equate that with, us, coming together as a people and everything. I think that we spend more time with looking at and paying attention to the people that don't like us and that's not for us and that's hating on us instead of those that do have solutions or do have opinions or some type of tools or resources that we actually can use because we want to hate on them because we get that same energy from people that's hating on us. So that's why, like I said, all of us have different trains of thought. We all think different. We different people, and I'm really enjoying this conversation I'm having with you brothers. A lot of these brothers, except for perfectionists, both y'all have had words with y'all, and I'm glad that I could come up here and have this conversation. And that's what I believe this conversation was about. This build with men that we can actually have a conversation, and we ain't got to be up here disrespecting each other, and what I did read in the chat is that we do need to focus. Yeah, they saying some negative stuff. That's what everybody do. Just check this out. We pay attention to more bad press than good press. And a lot of these people, they ain't even on the time we on right now. They still want to be messy, and we at least want to have a conversation and understand where each other's minds at. You know what I'm saying? So don't pay attention to the haters. They gonna hate. Because that's how you understand what love is when you got the haters and they hurt you. I just wanted to say that, brothers. I'm gonna go on mute.
Well, let me say this to what my publicist. I wish you would publicist.
Okay,
Yeah,
y'all need
right.
to wrap this up because I'm gonna save some topics for part two since we did a good job. But I'm gonna need y'all to wrap this up because I gotta go.
Oh, okay. Well, let me close out by saying this. I appreciate the conversation. I think it's always beneficial when people can put the swords down, stop playing, and come together and have rational reasonable conversations. Whether you respect the people who are having a conversation, you have to carry yourself accordingly too. So if we could stop fighting, just like we did up here, a lot of us don't get along. But if we could stop right now to participate in this conversation, then we all should be able to do that. But the problem is that we have some people who just want to play. And when you want to play and other people are serious, there's always going to be a divide. When some people see things and they try to share with you the truth about what they see, then we're always going to bump heads. We're always going to bump heads. Now, out of everybody up here, I don't know. I am the oldest. I'm 60 years old, and I'm proud of it. I'm very, very proud of it. It's a hard game. I made it to 60. A lot of young brothers out here aren't going to make it. A lot of young people out here aren't going to make it to see 60. So it's a beautiful thing that I made it. And I hope that the rest of you do too. Thank you again, Pizza.
Thank you for coming up. Appreciate it. Ghetto.
Damn, I can't hear nothing. I think it's the closing part though. Hopefully y'all can hear me. It all
We
starts
do.
with personal responsibility. We can talk about, what the cure is. We know what the most of the problems are. It was a great conversation today. But are you going to go home and look in the mirror and figure out what you need to do to be a better part of society and generate some generational wealth for your family? That's the name of the game. We're going to have different ways. There's no one answer because we all going to go about life differently. But are we going to have integrity, do what's right, and help others? I love y'all, pizza. Great show, and thanks for having me today.
Okay. Um, Noble. Thank you for coming up, Ghetto. Noble.
Peace and love. I would just like to continue to build on what I was saying earlier, and I also agree with what Ghetto said. Also, accountability and responsibility is something that us as men need to really focus on going forward, because our women look towards us to protect, defend, and provide. You know what I'm saying? And right now it's
Mhm.
like the roles are reversed, and I think it's time for us to get some straightening within ourselves, hold each other accountable when we see each other and wrong. You know what I'm saying? We got to hold each other accountable, and if a person get mad about it, they got to check themselves. Like my man said, you got to go home and look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us at home, we could go look in the mirror and be like, what can make me a better man? How can I be able to communicate with with my counterparts, my other brothers? You know what I'm saying? Even if they is, what I'm saying, in that community, I can have a conversation with them as a man and not as, what I'm saying? So, I just think it's a way we all can grow as men and also as a community. And I thank you for having me up, Pizza. This was a great conversation. I hope you do this again. You know what I'm saying? With a little more participation. And I thank all the brothers that came up here to give me their energy and their insight, man. Y'all did good. No doubt. Peace and love.
All right. Thank you for coming up, Noble. Perfect.
Yeah, so I guess I'll end it on this note. As far as my life experience, let me just say that in my early 20s to mid 20s, I used to work in the investment banking industry, and then eventually, I moved to commercial banking. But a little bit before that, I was into private equity, and venture capital, and whatnot. So a lot of this financial stuff that people talk about, I've been around that. I've been around that. And
Mhm.
so I network with men of other races, some well off, some even wealthy, you know. And so what I'll say is
Mhm.
that when it comes to how these people view the world, how these people, handle things, I'll just say that a lot of these folks who got ideas about what should be done and how things work, they have no clue. They're speaking from a place of idealism and all that kind of stuff. So if I were if I were anybody else, I would not take these folks seriously because they just don't know. But anyway, but thanks for having me up though. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you. Um, Malik, do you want us to come back and
Oh,
say
I
your
couldn't hear
last say
her.
so, Malik? Malik, do you want to say your last say so? I will wait for you to say what you need to say. Malik, do you want to come up and say your last say? Baby, his sound has not been doing him justice today, okay? Poor Malik. He ain't even came up on Brooks and still wasn't able to get this shit right. That's fucked up for Malik. For real, for real, for real. After the rain. We're gonna be having the women's panel tonight at 8:30. I need a break. I gotta spread it out, give it some time, you know. So okay, so I don't think Malik is gonna come back up. Okay. This was a good live. We're going to have a part two. We're going to have a part two sometime this week that's coming up. I don't know what day. I'll get with y'all on the date and time of when we gonna have this his mic keep messing up. Okay, T Black, it's refreshing to hear people who actually know what they're talking about and not using the chat to deflect. His mic keep going out. He said great live and thank you. Okay, thank you, bro. Okay, I'll see y'all back at 8:30 my time for the women's panel. And then I'll talk about a couple of topics with the women. I ain't gonna do too much. Um You said none of these men were worth a dime. Shake my head, pit better next time, piece of boo. Leave me alone. Don't tell me to pick better. Okay? The men that came up and had the conversation, they came up and they had the conversation. I didn't handpick these men to come up. I said that it was open for all the men to come and have this conversation. Y'all always trying to like talk down on something that a bitch do. Like that shit, you're like with motherfucking Goosey. Like I can't never do something without y'all be trying to tear some shit down. Without y'all trying to criticize me about every little thing or complain about every little thing. Like that shit gets annoying as fuck. She said pick better. I guess men next time, like I picked these men. Like leave me alone. I didn't pick them. They came to have this conversation. I mean, you know what, girl?